Peter Criss with a new solo album, and Xander with a bunch of Kiss stuff to show. One of those hasn't happened in 18 years. The other one seems to happen just about every episode.
Every week.
But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for joining us here on episode 138 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. My name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
And we're just popping in, honestly, for a quick episode today. I know it's Sunday. We usually upload on Sundays. But Xander, for you guys, is just now, or in your time, is coming back from the Gene Simmons show. Me... right here, right now, it's Thursday, so I still have a couple more days until the show. So I thought, you know what, why don't we film one before the show?
Yeah, there's stuff to talk about.
One more, there's always stuff to talk about, yeah. So we'll get one more episode in, and then Rob and I will review the show and talk about the Gene Simmons show. So yeah, more on that later on. But anyway, thank you guys again just for joining us again for a quick episode. We have lots of stuff to talk about, including, yes, news about a Peter Criss solo album. Robin and I touched on it last episode. We're going to kind of revisit that again and get Daphne's thoughts. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, if you're a Kiss fan, this is the place to be. Definitely hit that subscribe button. We have not just podcast episodes, but also other Kiss videos in general. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you know who you are. Your name is scrolling on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for your support over there. We have a great time uploading extra bonus content for you guys. Today's episode, again, is just going to be kind of a fun, kind of a quick one. I do want to... turn over to Daphne and start talking about the Kiss Spotlight. So I'm kind of interested because sometimes you and I will either have clues on the other ones or might have the same Kiss Spotlight.
Yeah, sometimes we intentionally watch something together or listen to something together, so it's obvious. But
I don't know what you've been jamming to, so I'm kind of curious.
You have no idea.
I do not know.
My Kiss Spotlight this week is Carnival of Souls.
Okay, it's been a minute.
Yes, if you guys have been watching for a while, you know how much I love this album and how much I have gotten into it in the last couple of years.
I've never had trouble opening a Moneybag Soda.
I got a sweater. Do you want me to...
You can try. I have a cut on my finger, so I'm trying to be careful, and I'm trying to baby the cut. But
the sweater as protection worked.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've never actually struggled to open up a bottle before.
That's funny.
But I don't want to reopen this wound, if you will. So
Agreed.
Appreciate it. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I apologize.
Fine. Yes, so, I've been jamming to Carnival of Souls. It has been a minute. Sometimes, I don't know, I just go through seasons with albums when I am in the headspace for them and when I'm not.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just this week here in Indiana, it's been real gloomy, real rainy. And that just screams Carnival of Souls to me for some reason.
Doom and gloom.
Oh, it's so good. I've just been enjoying it so much. I don't know what to say that I haven't said in the past about that album. But I know it gets a lot of hate, but I will always love it. I think it's so artistic.
It's a good opening track.
Yes.
Hate.
Hey, you're right. and rain.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that was not intentional.
The jokes, man, it never goes away.
But it's just so good. And you could just feel Bruce Kulick all over that album, and it just speaks to me, and I love it.
I haven't listened to that one in full in a while, so maybe it's time for me to as well.
I think it is.
Sometimes we like to place albums, not just Kiss, it's all music. You know, everybody has their, like, seasonal listening, you know.
For sure.
And sometimes it's kind of hard for me to place Carnival into a season because it really can work.
It's more of a mood album than a season
album. It's more of a mood. It's both, absolutely. And so when it's raining... Boom, there you go. If you're kind of stuck inside, maybe emotionally you're not...
Or if you're just feeling introspective and like in your feelings about something. It's one of those albums, because there's not a lot of Kiss albums like that.
No.
I'm sorry, they're usually, pretty surface level, lighthearted, sex and rock and roll kind of stuff. But this one's deep, and I know Gene and Paul might not resonate with it, but I do.
But we certainly do,
and I love it.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely one of the heavier albums. Yeah. I know I love heavy Kiss, both heavy as in like tuning, but also just like that slow that sludgy kind of. There's some again real doom and gloom on that album.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think because I always have a Kiss playlist going on Spotify. I'm trying to think of what some of the last songs I listened to. Would have been from Carnival of Souls that popped up. I'm thinking like maybe Seduction of the Innocent and Childhood's End. But I need to get back into it because I want to hear the stuff like Rain, Hate, Master and Slave, and then my favorite, In the Mirror.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's my favorite track from the album. That one just... So yeah, very cool, very cool. Mine is kind of left over from the one I didn't get to last week.
Okay.
So I don't think I spotlit Hand of Fate.
I don't think so.
Our kind of custom Kiss album that we did in episode 100.
Yeah.
But I love revisiting that one.
It's so good. I could have spotlit that too because I've been enjoying listening to that every time I'm in your car.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, I love a couple of those demos, especially, those Gene demos.
The Gene demos.
That were from the vault.
They're so good.
That we never heard. Hand of Fate, of course, where we gave the name to. And then there's also We Rocked It All Night, which is such a cheesy title, but that might be my favorite one.
No, it's so meaningful.
Because it has all of those meta lyrics that only Kiss fans will get.
It's like a love letter to Kiss and the fans.
Yes.
It's really cool.
It really is.
The first time I heard it, I was like, what's happening? Because obviously there were all these little... references to Rock and Roll All Night and things like that.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Call Miss Daisy on the telephone talking about the Daisy Club.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it at first, and then the second time I listened to it, I started hearing, lyrics about Electric Lady and stuff like that, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah, Electric Lady, you are my... I can't tell what he's saying there.
You are my home,
You're my home?
Yeah.
You are my home. Love that song.
I
wish that one had been released. I really hope that... Gene does a solo album because I think that there would, that would be really cool to hear those songs fleshed out.
What was the one on there that he did with Bruce on Bruce's solo album?
Ain't Gonna Die.
That one is really good.
Ain't Gonna Die from BK3.
Gosh, that's so good.
Just goes to show that Revenge Gene never died.
Yeah, facts.
Because here he is in 2011.
Yeah.
Pulling out that revenge style
Maybe
vocals.
Bruce brings it out of him because Bruce was also part of that era.
God, what a great song. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I've been listening to Hand of Fate. It's got all the Kiss stuff from the last 10 years. Well, like as far as like Right Here, Right Now, and Samurai Sun, and then it has a couple of Ace tracks that feature, of course, Fire and Water with Paul, and then couple with Gene.
My personal favorite, the Venus and Mars cover.
Yes, from the Art of McCartney. Yeah. So, if you guys haven't seen episode 100, check out, quote-unquote, the new Kiss album. That was a really fun episode to do. And, I made a mixtape out of it, or mixie out of it, and I revisit it often because I love all those songs just together in one collection.
Yeah.
But, again, Xander, for you guys, is off on a road trip right now. He and Rob are just now coming back from the Gene show. But again, I have a couple more days. I'm really excited, and it just goes to show that the tour is on.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And
People have been saying it's been canceled, and some dates were, but...
A lot of dates were, but I noticed that Gene, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but very recently posted on Instagram a new post about all the upcoming dates. I'm like, okay, if he's posting about it, like, see you guys soon, it is happening. And you don't have to hold your breath anymore.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was kind of wondering because... Our show is May 3rd in Beaver Dam, Kentucky.
Right.
That's the second show on this, quote-unquote tour.
Right.
The first one being May 2nd, the night before, in Georgia. So it's not like, we have a 2 weeks heads up that it's being canceled. It's like, no, it's either going to be, it's all happening or it's going to be canceled the night before we see
it. I don't think
last second.
Yeah.
But no, now we pretty much all but have confirmation that the shows are on. Gene's gearing up for the show in Peachtree City, Georgia.
Nice.
On May 2nd. Like I said, we'll be seeing him May 3rd in Kentucky, and he better get ready because he's about to have a bit. Are you ready? another freaking demo. Here we go. Another reference. But anyway, he better get ready because he's about to have a busy 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's the May 2nd and May 3rd show, but he's playing May 5th, New Jersey, May 6th in New Jersey, May 8th, Pennsylvania, May 9th, New York, May 11th, Connecticut, May 14th in Ohio, May 15th in Ontario, and that's going to be like his stretch. Again,
he's like not even taking more than a couple days off at a time.
This was supposed to be like an all April and most of May thing, and now it's just like condensed,
just jammed into May.
These 2 weeks into May basically.
That's crazy.
And the last shows we have are August 3rd in Sturgis, South Dakota, so that's like a ways away. And then he even already has, Sturgis, he already has a gig booked for 2026.
Okay.
So from February 23rd to the 27th, Gene is going to be playing on the Rock Legends Cruise.
Oh, okay.
Number 8.
Cool, okay.
So no Kiss cruise as far as we know.
But he's going on a different
Gene's
cruise.
going to be on a rock cruise.
Interesting.
The Rock Legends cruise. So there's your little update on Gene. And if you guys are going to go see some shows, be sure to follow along and with our next episode, leave some comments because I want to hear what everybody's experiences are. Maybe you saw him in Europe if you're one of our Europe watchers, listeners, or maybe you saw him on the previous tour in 2017. I'm going to be interested to keep up with all of that because I never got to see Gene.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But speaking of Rock Legends, we're here to talk about Peter Criss.
Yes.
Because Peter Criss has announced that for the first time in 11 years, he's releasing a new solo album this fall. Rob and I talked about it. I want to throw it over to you and just kind of say, like, what's your immediate thoughts about hearing about that? Because we haven't really lived, not at the podcast at least, hasn't seen we've seen... I did a Soul Station review when it first came out, and then we, of course, did 10,000 Volts.
Yeah.
But yeah, never thought that we would be doing a Peter Criss album.
No.
Well, I mean, there will be a review at some point.
Yeah, when it comes.
The fact that we're even talking about an upcoming Peter Criss solo album is pretty awesome.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I was just shocked because, like you said, that's not something I ever expected.
That wasn't on my bingo card for 2025.
Yeah, because I mean, he hasn't done anything in so long, and he hasn't. How many? I feel bad that I don't know that much about Peter's solo album. Solo career? Do you know how many solo albums he has?
Off the top of my head, I don't know a number. I can think of at least 4.
Because honestly, I don't think I've heard any of them except for the 78 solo album.
Okay, there's a 78 solo album, there's Out of Control, there's Criss Cat, and there's All for One. They're Sending the Clowns. I know that one.
Okay.
So let me see if we have like an actual number. But yeah, no, it has been like 18 years since he released. The last one was All for One in 2007.
2007.
But he has... there's Peter Criss, Out of Control, Let Me Rock You, Cat Number 1, and One for All. Now, what am I thinking of when I say Sending the Clowns? Hang on a minute.
Maybe it's a song.
Oh, it is a song.
Okay.
Oh, the song is off One for All. I don't know why I thought that was the album name. Okay, so honestly, he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
See, and that makes sense since he quit so long ago. But yeah, it was not something I expected, but I was very excited to see that. I was excited to see him talking about it.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy that he's inspired enough to be making music again in 2025.
Were we together when we saw that announcement?
Yes.
Because we were watching, and then the Kiss FAQ video with Julian popped up when
it
they
was
were on
like,
the couch.
had just been posted.
It had just been posted, and it was like, hey, you kind of wiping your eyes, like, wait, what's happening here? And, Peter, he's so cool and nonchalant.
He's so cool.
He's like, yeah, guys, got a new rock album coming out. Thank you to all my fans. Hope you enjoy it. Peace out. See you then. And it's like,
he didn't have much to say about it.
You're just going to come in and then, like, mic drop
and
then basically leave, as it were. It's kind of like, okay, I got you. But, no, this is really exciting because, like I said, we haven't really seen anything from Peter in a while since 2007. And I was in middle school back then, and I can't even think of, like, that album rollout. You know what I mean? Like, back in 2007, I wasn't really... I was a Kiss fan for sure, but I was just now, like, starting to become the Kiss fan that I am today.
Yeah.
So there was like this intermediate period where I didn't even know Mark St. John had passed.
Yeah.
Because again, social media, it wasn't like we were all just on social media.
The internet was not the same.
Yeah, I maybe had just had a MySpace. I maybe had just created a MySpace. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't even remember All for One or One for All. And I don't even remember Mark St. John passing, all these different things happening. So I'm kind of excited to finally get to experience the Peter Criss album rollout. I'm excited to hear the first single, the album cover, and all those things that come with an album rollout is truly exciting. And no, a Peter Criss album was not on my radar.
I didn't think that was ever going to happen. No. I mean, after 18 years?
07.
After basically. 18 years, you just kind of assume he's done. You know what I mean? Like,
the crazy thing is that I can think back to when he was talking about doing an album like maybe a decade or so ago.
Really? And it just never materialized.
He had talked about it, but then he went and did his little, almost like a final farewell, where he did this couple New York shows. He did a tour where he took some fans on like a tour of New York, see some hot spots, and then he performed both behind the kit, up front, doing Kiss songs, solo songs, cover songs of other artists, just as his like public farewell. And that was sort of his riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And if Peter performs, I mean, it's really only for maybe some charity events here and there.
Yeah, it's like one-off little things where you see a clip of him drumming or something, but it's nothing crazy.
And then he'll even upload drum solos almost like once or maybe like once every couple years.
Yes,
where
I love
those are my favorite.
Me
being
too.
A drummer myself. So yeah, I forget where I was going with that, but it's just been a while since we've seen a Peter Criss album roll out. I was going somewhere with that. I forget what it was.
Well, I was going to mention, since you were talking about his appearances and performances, didn't he, like, right after that announcement, or at least days after, have some kind of performance?
Yeah. So on the 20th, that was April 25th, and he was presented with an award.
Oh, okay.
He was presented with a Legacy Award.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at the Raven Drum Foundation's event.
That's awesome.
In New York City. So, so he was honored with an award, and then he did perform, which was great. He was up there singing, of course, Joey Casado.
I was going to say, that's how I knew about it. Joey
everywhere.
Posted. Yeah,
Joey's like, oh man, it's so cool. I'm like, yeah, that's so cool. You're literally playing, you're playing drums for the original Kiss drummer.
Yeah.
Like, that's
crazy.
That's
and that's
cool.
After working with Ace already, too.
Very true.
Very cool.
And he mentioned the album there, too, at that event. Was talking about, hey guys, keep in mind, stay tuned for the fall. I'm going to be releasing an album.
So there's not a date yet, is that correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I don't know of a date. And I think he even said that he would do, like, hey guys, I'll do like a more in-depth interview.
I was going to say, I have so many questions.
So I don't know who the interview was going to... And he said a more in-depth. So it's almost like there's a plan.
Yes.
There's an idea. There's something on the schedule. Like, it's planned out, which I think is great.
That's good. Yeah.
I hope he does a lot. And I know Peter Criss, he's 79. I know, he's getting up there in age and probably doesn't want to do all that stuff. But so as long as he is willing and capable, I would love to see a Peter Criss return to the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sort of almost like, because we love watching professional wrestling and how, there's no better feeling than when you're watching all the new guys, all of a sudden the music hits and it's some legend.
Oh my gosh.
That you haven't seen in forever. Maybe you didn't think would come back or whatever it is. Like, there's always that moment.
Yeah.
Where you're just like,
no way.
The return of whoever, you know what I mean? So it's almost like the return of Criss.
Yeah.
Not the return of Kiss, but the return of Criss.
I like it.
So, man, that could be its own rollout. The return of Criss. Hire me, Peter, for your marketing album.
Needs.
Dude, there was somebody commented on our episode and said, I think it was Joseph Kiss Sr. is the handle. Mm-hmm. And they said, hey, I know of an event in Vegas. He could promote that in the fall. If he's going to have his event in the fall, or have his, album roll out in the fall.
That is really good timing.
So
interesting.
This is interesting, too, because we don't know anything about what's happening in Vegas as far as Peter and Ace's involvement.
Yeah.
But that would be a really, really cool, unique way for Peter to kind of unveil that.
Yeah.
Would be to make an appearance at this event where he's with fans, could sign physical copies in person, get autographs, maybe even perform some of this stuff on stage
so cool.
with the people that, he made the music with, or something like that. But I don't know. Again, we're all just kind of here speculating, having
fun. Right, it's speculation, but that would be awesome.
Yeah, we're just having fun with it. But I'm just excited.
I just can't wait to see hear what it's going to sound like.
So it's going to be a hard rock album, which this to me is the exciting part, because Julian was saying that the drums sound massive.
Yes.
He said the drums sound massive. Now, when I think the drums sound
he's heard
massive,
it, hasn't he?
Apparently, he's
said
heard
that
some
in the
teaser
video.
stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when I think drums sound massive, I think Eric Carr, Creatures of the Night.
Yeah.
Barry Pointer is apparently producing this. He's worked with Ozzy. He's worked with Motley Crue. He's even worked with Dolly Parton. So this guy, he's hit with some hard-hitting, heavy artists.
He knows what he's
Dolly
doing.
Parton.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
Dolly Parton is metal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, she did the rock album. So
that's true.
So, I don't know what Barry's going to bring to the table. I don't know what Peter's going for, but all we know is what we've heard. And what we've heard is that's going to be a hard rock album coming out in the fall. And Peter's drum sound is massive. So that's all Xander needs to hear to be intrigued. I don't know how many tracks it's going to be, but I'm just beside myself.
Yeah.
And I think that most of this material is probably the material that he was working on 10 years ago when he was announcing that. Because he was announcing stuff with John 5 and just kind of never released anything. So I'm wondering if this is going to be that collection where maybe he's had stuff already in the vault, as it were, for 5, 6, 7, 8 plus years, and maybe even during COVID started getting creative again.
Maybe, yeah.
And then only now is he starting to really make a collection, a body of work. I think it's great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I think it's great. I do think it's unfortunate though that there are a small, but still a sector of the fans that are just dragging this through the mud, because I will say that Peter's solo career was never at the level of Ace's or even Gene and Paul's, but just almost making Peter the butt of the joke.
I hate that.
Saying, there's no way this album's going to be good, or you might as well add this to the pile of trash. And I'm like, you haven't even heard it.
No, you don't know anything. You haven't heard it.
And plus, I mean, we know that he's got this, great team with him: Billy Sheehan, Piggy D, John 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Peter himself is going to be playing drums, which that right there really excites me. I'm hoping he's singing.
I'm sure he will be. Yeah.
So because I think his voice is
love
amazing,
Peter's voice.
and I want to hear his voice in that rock and roll context again. I know that Peter and he's done a lot of soulful R&B stuff, and I think his last album, One for All, was like that, where it was like more of.
And I mean, the '78 solo album was like that.
Oh, '78 solo
album
was definitely a more R&B solo album. So I'm ready to hear the hard hitting. Peter Criss again.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm ready for it, and I hope that he does more appearances. Again, I was saying earlier about how I know he's getting up there, and maybe he doesn't want to do that stuff anymore. But I would hope that as much as he's willing and he's able, that he could do appearances and do interviews and like convention appearances, Q&As, and things, autograph sessions. I know it's grueling stuff, but. I know I want to get out there and meet Peter and just eye to eye look at him and say thank you, and just really, again, face to face, appreciate him.
He's the only original member you haven't met.
He's the only
right?
one I haven't met. He's my first drummer. That was the guy that I used to sit there and play the rock and roll over and over and over again, and was listening to Peter Criss. And so this is it's got me wanting to get back and play drums. You know what I mean? It's kind of exciting because I'm always sitting behind the computer now.
Right.
I'm doing the computer YouTube stuff, so it's that's kind of cool. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about what if this is something that you're excited for. Is this a pass? Not really interested. Are you excited? Are you going to get it? What's your favorite Peter Criss solo album that you've maybe heard in the past? Whatever you guys want, let me know in the comments. Because this is something that's going to be, again, just one more thing on the list.
Yeah, just something else to look forward to.
2025. I have a schedule, guys. I try to keep a schedule of okay, this week I'll try and do this. We got an anniversary coming up. Okay. Never happens.
No, it keeps
never
getting blown out the window.
There's always, all right, we're talking about, this
there's
now.
News.
There's always something happening. So it is really exciting. And we do have another piece of Kiss news that I will get to before I start opening the stuff. So we have another announcement relating to the Kiss Army Storms Vegas.
Okay.
We already know Bruce Kulick is going to be a special guest, and he's performing. It has now been officially confirmed by Bruce that he will be performing with Kiss on stage. So.
Yes, I had not heard that.
I already kind of assumed that.
I assume so too, but that is.
But an assumption that's now confirmed, that's way better. That's way better. So we know that there's going to be a moment where there's going to be Gene, Paul, Tommy, and Bruce on stage.
That's incredible.
That's exciting. What we don't know is who's the drummer.
Right.
Eric still has not been announced. It's
He's
possible.
Gotta be there.
He might be, but you know what? What if Peter or what if Eric does not sign on to this event?
Maybe he might just be done.
He could be done. He said, "I gave you the best 20. I gave you more than 20 years." When I was done with the last end of the road, I'm done.
No.
Because they had not talked. They said, Kiss equals Gene and Paul. Kiss plus special guest, and they said that Kiss at this point is just Gene and Paul. So everybody else.
And with Tommy there, you'd think if Eric was also going to be there.
And they've called Tommy a special guest.
Yeah.
Bruce, special guest.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of understand.
Those contracts, nobody's in Kiss.
Yes,
at
at this point, now that the end of the road is done, and there is no plan for future performances as that version of Kiss.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of default back to
Kiss
the only, the founding members who are still there are Kiss, and everybody else is previous members of Kiss.
Everybody else is a special guest. And you have Tommy, and you have Bruce.
I don't know. I'm still holding out for Eric to be announced. I mean, they have kind of spaced out, announcing guests. It hasn't really been all at once.
No.
So it could still happen.
I know. But I'm just not getting my hopes up.
I understand.
Because
especially as a big Eric Singer fan.
Well, yeah, and it's not like I'm going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it's not Kiss. I can't believe it. It's right. It is what it is.
I don't know. We're probably not going to be there anyway, and we've met Eric Singer a million times.
And whoever it is, it's like...
It's going to be somebody else.
You're about to play drums for Kiss at their return show. So, whoever it is, and it's not going to be some flippant person. Eeny, meeny, miny, you. It's like, no. There's going to be a pretty rigorous process, and it's going to be, maybe it'll be Joey.
I was about to say Joey. Joey's
literally everywhere. He's on the Ace album. He was playing with Peter.
It would only make sense.
He only hasn't played with Gina Paul. Like, he has to play with Gina Paul now. Like, that's the only logical step is to play with Gina Paul. So, Joey, good luck to you.
Yeah, we're
good luck with the audition. That would be killer. But it really is weird to think that there very well could be somebody. Maybe they're just not able to come to an agreement yet, but they're still working it out.
Yeah.
But it's a little weird that Eric wasn't announced in that first initial run.
Right.
So it sounds to me like they very well could be, and this is just speculation. I know nothing.
Right. We don't know anything.
We don't know anything, but like it very well could be a situation where they're kind of playing the field to see, who the best person would be to fill that role.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy.
We'll see. I'm still holding out.
And it's gonna be on the hush hush too, because that's something that they're not gonna announce until last minute, if at all.
Right.
You could get there and it just be whoever, and they don't say anything.
They'll announce it if it's somebody big. You know what I mean? If it's somebody...
Oh, the person I'm sure will.
Yeah, true.
Even whether it's on accident or on
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know that Bruce is going to be playing on stage. We know Tommy's going to be there, and Gina Paul, but as far as who's hitting the skins, we have no clue. Could be Xander, I did say I was on that business trip.
That's true. Maybe it was.
Maybe I was auditioning for
Maybe
Gina
he was
Paul.
in Vegas auditioning.
Maybe I was. Maybe it wasn't even Vegas. Maybe it was an undisclosed secret location.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for again a fun, quick episode. Naturally, I do have some Kiss stuff to show.
What you got?
Most of it, I don't know.
You don't know?
Most of it, I don't know.
Okay, that's fun. It's
because
a surprise.
They're gifts.
Ooh, I love gifts. Collector's Corner is way more fun when it's gifts.
Yes, but I cannot stress this enough. I do not ask for anything.
No, you don't, and we don't need anyone to send us anything.
I do not
ever.
solicit anything.
No.
I do not ask for anything.
This is just the kindness of Kiss fans.
But our Patreons, these are two Patreon.
Both of them?
2 of our Patreon subscribers
Aww.
got together. No, I'm just kidding. It was all on their own. I said, we're going to send some gifts in. And so I went to our P.O. box and found both of these.
That's so nice.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I
love
cannot
Kiss
wait
fans.
to open both of these. This first one here comes from our friend Rex Cap.
Yep.
So shout out to Rex. I'm going to go ahead and get out the Kiss knife here and pop this bad boy open. Yeah, again, I have no idea what this is.
Can't wait to see.
But I am very, very thankful for everybody and their generosity. I'm truly... Oh, snap! Okay! Let's go! Creatures of the Screen, Kissploitation. So this, I don't know who the person is. I apologize, John Harrison. I know the person is a huge Kiss fan. Obviously an author.
Yeah.
But they have, Kiss fans are crazy, meticulously gone through the uncensored and unofficial history of Kiss on film, television, and home video.
Whoa.
So every appearance they made, every reference.
Even references and stuff. That is crazy.
And you're talking like huge.
That's so detailed.
Huge thick book. So Rex, thank you, dude. This is really, really cool. This is one of those fan books that gets released that, unfortunately Xander just can't buy everything.
That cover art is awesome. Wow, how cool. That'll be so fun to look through.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we have some more stuff in here, it looks like.
This is freaking incredible.
I just read the note. Oh, whoa!
What we got?
A whole entire case of Kiss Alive.
Dang.
Kiss Alive collector cards.
Whoa.
Literally an entire case. Oh my gosh. Oh, sweet.
So nice.
There's here we go. Here's some open packs. Let's check them out.
Yes, please.
So we have. Speak of the cat himself.
I love it.
There's a reason why our sign is green today.
Yep.
So you've got Peter
That
Criss.
felt like Heart of the Cards. That Peter Criss came out first.
Did you say Heart of the Cards?
I did.
Nice. A nice Yu-Gi-Oh reference there. So yeah, some really cool photos on the back of these for Kiss Alive.
That's great. Are there facts on the back?
Yeah. Yeah, there are. Give me some trivia. Let's see if I can do this.
Okay.
The first one I kind of saw a little bit, so you can skip that one if you want. But
skip this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm going to blow it here on the channel if I get this wrong, but this is going to be a little fun game of Kiss trivia.
Which of these songs were performed live by Kiss but did not appear on Alive? A, Ladies in Waiting. B, You're Much Too Young. C, Let Me Know. D, All of the Above.
Wait, I'm sorry, read the question again? Did it say what songs were not on Alive?
Which of these songs were performed live by Kiss but did not appear on Alive?
Okay.
Ladies in Waiting, You're Much Too Young, Let Me Know, or All of the Above.
Oh, snap. Yeah, I'm about to blow it. In 75, I don't think they were playing Much Too Young. Although I could be wrong because... No, because it's... I'm going to say Ladies in Waiting.
All of the above?
It is all the above?
All of the above.
For sure.
What else we got? These aren't all trivia. Here we go. Kiss's Destroyer costumes were also worn by the band on which other tour? Rock and Roll Over, Psycho Circus, The Farewell Tour, or all of the above?
All the above.
Correct. I think that's all I got.
That one almost got me.
The other one.
That one almost got me because I was like, oh, that's definitely Rock and Roll Over, but then you said Psycho Circus. I was like, ugh!
You're like, wait.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I love that.
That is awesome.
Thank you, Rex, for this entire case of cards, dude. This is crazy. This is kind of cool, though. Maybe we could turn this into a game.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
We might turn this into a Kiss
trivia.
A Kiss trivia game.
I love that
for the channel. That could be really fun. Is there anything else I want to make sure? Kiss in Japan, the newsletter.
Ooh.
Japanese Archives number 4, 50 years of Kiss. Oh, this is really cool. So you've got a couple pictures of Eric Singer on the back, Peter Criss on the front,
nice.
The Catman again.
He's everywhere.
The Catman is alive and well. This is really, really cool. I think he said this was from, who did he say, Elaine? Elaine is another huge Kiss fan who's also an author and has had lots of books released. I think he releases a lot of books.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so everybody knows Elaine. That is super cool. Again, I had no idea what was in his box. That's one more book I got to read.
Yeah, that's a big book too.
That's a big one.
Wow, that's a lot of information. I love it.
I know, Kiss fans are crazy. Like, they go through the...
That must have taken forever.
It took it forever. Speaking of taking forever, this one I've known about for a while.
Okay.
But I was just waiting on, and I was hoping it didn't get lost in transit because it comes all the way from Norway.
That's amazing.
This, again, Patreon subscriber Bjorn.
Yes.
Bjorn Johnson. Thank you so much, my guy. I really appreciate the fact that it came all the way from Norway.
That's so cool.
It is here.
Wow.
And so I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. And did you see it?
I saw something.
Okay, you ready? Boom. Is this a Norwegian copy of The Elder?
I think so.
Please enjoy this OG copy of Music from The Elder from my home country, Norway.
Oh my god!
From 81 in excellent condition, and I hope it has made its way safe and sound halfway around the world. Oh, so first of all, I'm going to read this note because he wrote us a note real quick. He wrote us
a typed out note.
So I'm going to read this.
Damn. Wow.
Cheers, Bjorn. Cheers, man.
Bjorn. Thank
you.
So great.
It's amazing. So this is his copy of The Elder. It's from Norway. It's his favorite Kiss album. We did a 3-part series on The Elder last year.
Yeah.
And that was one of our favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And apparently it was his first Kiss album, and so he sent us this copy of The Elder. And it would be a shame not to just go ahead and open the whole thing and appreciate this on the show, because I have a couple copies of The Elder. Let's face it, I have a pretty nice record collection. It's not like huge, but it's nice. Mm-hmm. First Norway record right here. First
That's
record.
Amazing.
First Norwegian pressing right here. So there is no gatefold, first of all. So that's interesting. The first pressing I have has a transparent sleeve and the gatefold. This has the gatefold on the sleeve.
Oh, cool.
So if you flip it over, you can see
still there,
both parts of the table with the candle. You still get the story.
Yep.
So that's exciting. That's really cool.
That's so cool.
No other inserts, but honestly, no other inserts needed.
No, it's perfect.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the record itself here. I want to make sure I don't get, all my fingerprints on it and everything. But
I cannot believe a record arrived unscathed from Norway.
Yeah, no, you packaged it very well, my friend.
Good job,
Thank you
Bjorn.
so much.
That's amazing.
So here we go, side one.
That's so awesome, and it was so cool to hear his history with the album and how important it is to him.
And you know what? And the Elder is like one of my favorite Kiss albums.
Me too.
Because it's so magical.
It's
so
top 5.
Enchanted. There's something about it that it has this aura about it.
Yes,
it's
a magical.
Fantastic record.
Yeah.
And those episodes that we did last year, if you guys missed those Elder episodes, if you're an Elder fan,
yeah, go check them out.
Those are three of the best episodes.
We had so much to say. We did not intend to do a 3-part series.
No. We knew there was going to be a 2.
Yeah, well, that's true. We did know there was going to be 2, but that was because we wanted to talk about the lore of just the album coming out and the controversy and the reception and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And the creation of it. And then the actual lore of the album.
Yeah.
And the songs and breaking down lyrics and the world building and everything. But we just had so much to say. We had to keep talking.
Yeah, we kept finding out more stuff about it.
Yes.
And then we even had people commenting.
Yes.
And they had their own stories, their own revelations.
And it seemed like everybody was just kind of on an Elder kick at that point. Like, everybody joined us on that journey.
It was Novelder, for sure.
Yes,
yeah.
It was...
So,
it was an odyssey that we were all on together.
It was.
It was amazing.
And I really, really thank you, Bjorn. This is going to be a fine addition to my collection. We just saw Star Wars Episode 3 for the 20th anniversary, sorry. Anyway, so there is our vinyl. I'm going to actually just lay that right there. I don't want to put it on the floor.
Wow, what an awesome gift.
Let's see. Do I need the Kiss knife or anything else?
Do you have more things?
Oh, I do. Okay, so this one I actually did buy. Okay, so those were the 2 gifts. Again, by the way, guys, in case you don't think so, I do keep all of these,
of course,
handwritten notes that you guys have. I keep them right over there.
Yep.
But anyway, so those were the 2 gifts. This one I did buy. I am responsible for this, but it's exciting because it came all the way from Japan.
Ooh,
and if that doesn't give it away...
Is it finally here?
It's finally here.
That's very exciting.
The new San Antonio...
Off the soundboard, baby.
Off the soundboard has arrived. And it has arrived...
As soon as you put the knife up, you
very well packaged, yes.
Good, I'm glad.
I need it again.
That's the kind of tape you probably just rip.
Perhaps. All right, we're here. Yeah, okay, great. Now, love the green
tissue paper. It's like gift wrap.
It's for the Catman.
Wow, everything worked out so perfectly.
Bubble wrap, bubble
it's for
bubble
the Catman,
wrap.
even though he's not on this album.
It's for the Catman. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
did it come with something? What is that?
So this is the promo sticker it came with.
That's a sticker?
That's a sticker.
That's awesome.
I knew it was going to come.
Huge.
I knew it was going to come with a sticker, but I'm not going to lie, I thought the sticker was going to be a square.
Tiny.
A square.
That's
so
huge. That's like a decal.
Not for sale, Universal Music Group. Looking for that copyright. Probably not going to find it. That's okay. So, okay, we have that. And then...
What?
They shipped this in a sleeve.
Oh, that's nice.
That's extremely nice.
So it's not, like, sealed?
It's not sealed at all. It just came in a sleeve with an obi. Of course it came with an obi. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of nice.
Anyway, here we have...
Yay!
The Off the Soundboard CD.
It exists physically. That's amazing.
The physical... So...
Oh, there's something else. Oh, there's a booklet. Okay.
There's a
There's a little booklet inside. With all the Japanese lyrics and English lyrics.
I'm
That's
putting the knife up now, otherwise somebody's getting cut. And I've already been cut, so I'm done.
Yeah, there's like stuff in here.
We got goodies?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this gets better and better.
Is this a poster?
I forgot. Wait, they included the poster here too? So remember the poster that came with the vinyl?
Yes.
Of the crowd shot, the super sick crowd shot? Is that
This is it.
Is
that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, so this poster came with the vinyl, and I thought, now that's a great addition to the vinyl because, again, more goodies, more pullouts, the better. But I didn't think we would get it with the CD, but that
I love this.
Is a sweet...
The CD is so great because it's like a little record. Like, I know that sounds silly, but, like, the CDs are in little, like, record little sleeves, kind of.
CD sleeves.
Yeah.
This is a great photograph. This is, like, one of the best, far backstage shots of the 80s Kiss.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is delectable. So yeah, I'm going to put that up. I do want to check it out. So here we have the booklet with the cover. Yeah, I love the artwork. The fact that we finally have
it's so much better.
New artwork, and then we have the same image of the poster on the back there. So front and back cover art. That's exciting. We have a booklet. We have a poster. We have a promo CD. This is what we want people from a Kiss off the soundboard release. Are you kidding me? Yeah, both CDs, it looks like, are in sleeves with the track listing on them. And they even have inner sleeves.
Man, these are protected.
And the inner sleeves are the...
I've seen those. I love those. Ones.
What the heck,
I don't understand why all CD and vinyl sleeves are not shaped like that. It makes so much more sense. I absolutely despise, especially if it's plastic like that, trying to put a record in a square sleeve back in the jacket.
Oh.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Those make it so much easier.
You see the disc itself?
Oh,
how
wow,
cool How cool it looks with the black and the...
That's very cool.
It looks a little vintage, a little worn.
Yep.
See, this is what I want from an official Kiss soundboard release.
Was it that hard to release this in the U.S.?
Probably for production costs.
Guess.
Everything costs so much more over here. But thankfully, the Japanese put love and care into their releases. And so, man, I cannot think of a better packaged Kiss CD release.
Yeah.
In a long time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but like maybe I'm just drawing blanks. I mean, Kiss 40 was pretty cool, I guess, but it didn't have like all this in it. This is fascinating, truly exciting, and it's pretty sad. I gotta say that because Kiss is known for their over-the-top packaging. But did you find this in the sleeves as well, or was it just kind of tucked in?
Yeah, it was in this side with
this as well.
Yeah, no, this was just
that was just out and about.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if it might have fallen out of one of those things. I don't know.
Okay,
but
sure.
It was just stuck in the middle.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there just for safekeeping.
If it'll fit, don't show it though.
It'll fit. If this side can fit too, this can fit too as well. Very cool. And then yes, naturally we have an Obi. And then here we can compare it to ours.
Oh, yes, to the cover you made.
This is the version that I made. If you guys saw my video where I created my own custom album cover. This is the color version, yes, with Bruce front and center.
Love it.
There's my version there. And then back cover, again, with Bruce. But, yeah, I'm glad to finally have it. I thought it would take a lot longer than this. I mean, it said it was going to ship on April 30th. It's May 1st.
I was going to say, it had to have shipped before that. There's no way.
28th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still really fast to get to Indiana from Japan.
I mean, I did pay the same amount for shipping as I did.
Right, but I don't think you paid extra.
I paid a little bit extra.
Did you?
There was the cheap option, and then there was the one-up. I said, I'm just going to go one-up.
Yeah, just to get it a little sooner.
I want it sooner. I want it safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this I finally had to listen to in the car.
Very exciting.
Have I listened to this version in the car? I don't think I did.
I think you made it to do that, and then you have not done that.
I think you're right. I think I made it, and then I got a couple more CDs I've been listening to as opposed to this. So, yeah, I might listen to the official version because, Japanese is going to sound way better.
Yeah.
But still glad to have it. So let me know if you guys got yours or if you ordered yours. Let me know what you guys think. What am I doing? This belongs back in the sleeve.
Yes.
Which I'm still very surprised. So cool. What a very cool thing to do. All right, I'll be sure to put that up later after the show. I think that's done. We're done with Kissmas right now.
That was a great Kissmas. That was seriously, awesome. Something we've been waiting for forever, and 2 amazing gifts from our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, seriously, guys.
So nice.
Again, I don't expect anything. I mean, you guys are already...
Yeah, the point is that
you're paying for the Patreon,
content. Yeah.
And then you're just like, which I mean, I'm very glad because again, I'm not gonna be like, no, don't say that, I don't want your crap. It's like no,
we graciously accept.
I'm very gracious. I'm very thankful that people would want to send stuff from their personal collection. One of our other Patreon subscribers, Greg, sent us his fully autographed Kiss Unplugged tour book.
Yep, I remember.
With all 4 members at the time, Gene, Paul, Eric, and Bruce on the front, and then an extra Eric on the back. And I'm like...
Crazy.
Thank you. Seriously, guys. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you just for watching the show and for sharing your love of Kiss with us. That's all we want to do, is just sit here and have fun talking about the hottest band in the world, what the different projects the band members are working on, talk about all the fun that we're having, and then, of course, let you guys in on the collecting fun. But I want you guys to let me in as well. So please, again, in the comments, let me know what you think about Peter Criss's new solo album, what you've been collecting, who you think the drummer could be for Kiss Army Storms Vegas. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here with the last thing being the Kiss calendar. We're officially in May now, so the year's flying by. It's crazy how...
That's crazy. I feel like April was 2 seconds long.
It feels like February was just here.
Yeah.
And then we went and
January was the longest month of all time. And then February, March, April have gone in like 2 seconds
We
flat.
saw Ace in March.
Yeah.
And that's almost 2 months ago already.
Crazy.
And I'm just like, it's so wild to me. Because I know that we do one episode a week. But that Ace review seems like it was just recently. But anyway, so yeah, we're officially in May. Flipping the calendar over.
Let me see the picture.
Ah, yes, we have a 6-shot from the Kiss Alive.
Nice.
The Kiss Alive era.
That's amazing.
Go ahead and show you guys here. So there's our May photograph, playing Black Diamond, it looks like, with Ace on his knees. A little bit of motion blur in the hair, so
awesome.
You know they're whipping that hair back and forth.
So good.
Love that. So yeah, you already know we're seeing the Gene Show Saturday, May 3rd. But we also have on the 25th, Unmasked turns 45.
Wow.
So we're celebrating the 45th anniversary of Unmasked.
Yes, and they have, we didn't talk about that, but they have put out some Unmasked merch, haven't they, on Kiss Online?
Oh, we're going to get to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was something.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to do a review of Unmasked, the album, that's for sure.
That's exciting, because I love Unmasked.
Because it is a great album, but... when the merch dropped, I was a little disappointed to see that only the Kiss Army VIP people could buy first.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was like, I'm already paying you money for the merch.
Right.
I don't want to have to pay more
just for a better chance to get it.
Just to pay you sooner.
Yeah.
It's like I'm paying you.
And also, like, when you do that, there's a chance, I mean, depending on how they do it, there's probably a chance that stuff sells out before it even gets to the public.
That's what they want.
Yeah, I hate that.
That's what they want, and it's not that it's not fair. I don't care about it being fair. It's just because if you have the money, go for it. If not, like us, you snooze, you lose. But it's just when you see that kind of thing, it makes you. If you're in the Kiss Army VIP, you want to buy it. But if you're somebody who's not, it's like, what's so special about the item?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because it wasn't really anything.
There was nothing there that was very special.
There was a shirt that was kind of cool, but like not that cool.
The only thing I wanted was the air freshener.
Yes.
For $10.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That said, I
still
say they stink,
yeah.
and it's an air freshener.
That's very
That's
clever.
kind of cool, and it's only $10.
Yeah.
But I couldn't buy it because it said, I had to be in the VIP, and I thought, well, I could come back when it's available for everybody and buy it, and I thought,
I feel like
I'm not going to spend $10 just to spend $10 just to pay shipping and have and
just
wait
for an air freshener.
Just for an air freshener, just to wait.
I feel like if they're gonna do that, like, why? I know why they post it for everybody to see, so people will join the fan club or whatever.
I'm not paying $50.
But I'm like, I wish they would just send an email to those people with a link. Like, here, you get early access before anybody else knows about it.
That's interesting.
Like, but
its own private
just
thing.
to rub it in everybody else's faces.
But, well, and that's the thing, is that they want people to feel like they're...
I understand why.
Oh, no, I'm not going to get my air freshener. I need to sign up for... It's like, no. And it sucks because I want it, but that kind of stuff, it just kind of turns you off. You know what I mean? It almost becomes like video games where you pay to play.
Right.
Like you have to pay real life money in exchange for in-game currency, or you're trying to play the game, and if you pump money into it, you can get farther ahead in the game. And so the players who just want to play don't want to play anymore,
because they don't have the money to waste on.
Well, and because
everybody else is way
playing
far ahead.
has become difficult, more difficult and less fun. So I feel like this isn't even pay to play; it's pay to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pay us to pay us sooner.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So that was a bummer. You know, there was, I guess, some cool stuff. I don't like the shirt that has Eric Carr blacked out.
No, what on earth?
They brought that shirt back again.
No.
Thankfully, I got the one in 2013 that actually has him on the front. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then everything else just seemed kind of like copy and paste.
Yep,
so
very much so.
Again, there definitely will be a review of Unmasked here on the channel, Unmasked. On the show. I love that album too. I cannot wait. But probably no merchandise unless somebody wants to send me it. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. But no, anyway, so yeah, that's where I want to end it, guys. Just again, a quick, fun. I say quick and fun. How long have we been doing this? This is like
not about as long as every other.
Not quite an hour, but we're pushing an hour. Yeah. So hey, that's great though, because I was thinking it was going to be.
That's how it always happens. We think that there's not that much to talk about, and then there just is.
And there just is. Here we are. So yeah, again, thank you guys for always joining us. Hopefully, when you watch these shows, you leave feeling invigorated and you feel happy. I hope you guys have a blessed day, a great week. Stay safe. We'll see you on episode 139 is when we're gonna do the Gene Simmons episode.
Rob.
The review with Rob, and then you guys just wait and see. I have some things coming up, but I don't want to give anything away too.
No
too
spoilers.
Soon. No spoilers. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. This has been episode 138 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. My name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
Peace out. Rock on.